This non-league club was on the brink of relegation, but today they've not only survived, they're title favourites. They're also seeing record-breaking crowds, becoming the most supported team in the division.
I'm hoping for 2,000 here today, and I reckon there will be.
So how has this happened in such a short amount of time?
You joined the club the back end of last season. How did you get a side that was in a relegation battle, one to survive, and now title contenders? What did you do?
I ain't got a clue. I've just come in there and been myself, really, and I'm good with people. I get the best out of people. And after I've come in there, the team was on a downward spiral, and I've just took them to another level. And we won. We stayed up by, obviously, I think 10 or 15 points in the end. So yeah, it was a good tournament.
How do you come into a side that you've said, it's not my team? How do you get the best out of them?
I knew some of the players that were here, but when a new manager does come in, you do get an extra 10 or 20% out of them, don't you? Because it's a new face, probably playing for a new deal next season. So I'm not saying it's easy, but I managed to do it somehow, yeah. And obviously, but I cleared them all out at the end of the season, so that's a bit harsh, isn't it? And started again. I think I've got 2 or 3 players from last season, and the rest of them are a brand new squad, yeah.
What was the first thing you said to Fabian in the summer, what you were going to do with the squad?
I just said to him, I'll have a totally new squad, and I'll have players that can run and are fit, and that's what I've got now, and that's why we succeed. We've got good players, but they can all run and get around the park, yeah.
How long does it take to coach your ideas to a brand new squad?
I think it come from pre-season. We had a good pre-season of 6 weeks, a hard pre-season to get the fitness levels in, and they all bought into it. And it's obviously showing now on the pitch it's all working, yeah.
What kind of manager are you?
You won't want to see him behind them closed doors. No, I'm loud, yeah, I'll admit it, but I do get the best out of my players. I'm a winner, and I instill that into the players, like, so yeah, I am quite loud, yeah.
What was the club like when you first joined? What situation was it in?
The club? You allowed to swear there?
Yeah.
It wasn't the best situation at all. It was a real mess. And me and George and Nadia came in, and yeah, we had our work cut out really and truly. So, but yeah, we just sat down with all the people and all the volunteers, sat down with Lavs, the manager, and said, well, what do you need from us? And yeah, we sorted out a plan, and then I think it's reaping the rewards at the moment.
How important was it that the club stayed in the division?
Oh, massive, yeah. We came to probably about 6 or 7 games at the end of the season. We were like, oh wow, this is precarious. But yeah, it was massively important, because if it was Step 4 club, I'm not sure we'd be having this conversation, to be honest. Yeah.
When the gaffer said to you during the summer, I'm changing the whole squad, was that sort of music to your ears, or like, whoa, got to find 20 odd players?
Well, it was, again, it's not music to my ears, because I don't want to disrespect any of the old players, but from what we saw, it wasn't aligned with our ambitions. I'm happy to speak to any and every agent, any player. So yeah, it's music to our ears, because we could just get our hands dirty and just start recruiting. Yeah.
I've seen non-league clubs sign one former Premier League footballer before. I haven't seen one do 3. How do you sign Marvin Sordell, Gary Hooper and Niall Ranger?
It's just personal relationships. With Marv, we know him quite well, we know him quite personally. It was always in the background, but yeah, with his busy schedule, it's on and off so a bit. But yeah, with him, that was a really easy one. Niall Ranger, similar. We know him and his agent really well. As you can imagine, Niall's hard to tie down sometimes. So yeah, so that took a bit longer as well. And with Gary, it's just his agent, yeah, just building relationships there. And his agents are really good people, so yeah, they reached out to us.
You say he's hard to tie down, Niall Ranger, but you've managed to get him to sign a contract with an option for an extra year.
Yeah. If you was in those negotiations, you'd understand how hard that was. But no, he's a top lad, and yeah, he's really down to earth, and he loves his time here. He loves the guys. He loves his football here. Yeah, it's just amazing to have him, really.
How can your younger lads benefit from having these experienced pros in the side?
Massively. It's massive in the change room, because obviously they've been there, got the T-shirt. I have got a good mix of young youth and experience, but then they can learn by playing in the Premiership and playing where they've played. Yeah.
Well, this is it. We sat him, Marv, and even Bruno as well. Bruno Andrade. We sat them down at the beginning of the Northampton game and said, look, you guys are the senior guys here. You lot have been there, seen that, worn the T-shirt. We need you guys to help these the youngsters out here. And I think it showed in the Northampton game. Like, Luke and Miller came off the bench and scored within about a couple of minutes, and yeah, it was fantastic.
What was that night like for you?
It was mental. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. As soon as the final whistle went, I stormed the pitch. I was straight on there. I couldn't believe it. It was mental.
Bruno Andrade is another former pro in their squad, who's experienced the highs and the lows of playing for the Poppies last season.
When I came in last season, we were struggling, so the team wasn't particularly playing well. Lavs came in. No disrespect to the previous manager as well. I got along well with him, but he put identity in the team, so we kind of knew what we was playing for. We stayed up. deservedly, because we had a good team, we had a decent team, and Labs always did say next year you wanted to go for it, get promoted, and so far he's been true to his word. And the fans here, considering the last year, we had a good turnout, but here, as you can see, almost come out in numbers.
Despite the turnaround at the football club, it's not always been easy for Bruno.
I felt like I loved the game a little bit. Mentally and physically, I wasn't there. I wasn't enjoying it. But I found a little bit again when I joined Maidstone. Started enjoying it, coming in full time. I signed there for a short-term contract. I've always kept in contact with Gaffer here. I had a good relationship from last season, so coming in now. So I'm just trying to play games. You know, the team's doing well, obviously. I'm just trying to go again. I mean, I've still got that bit of hunger now. I found that bit of hunger in my belly, so I'm just trying to go again and see what I could do.
How good is the level at Step 3? It's better than a lot of people think, isn't it?
Yeah, no, of course. Obviously there's a lot of ex-pro players like myself. We've got Niall here as well, Gaz, Hoops. There's a lot of pro players in this league, not just Kettering. The standard's getting better. Obviously, it's not how it was before, where it was like dog and duck. But the standard is getting better, and everyone can see.
Why do you think more ex-pros are coming down to these levels and helping not just themselves, but the younger players coming through at this level?
Yeah, I feel like it's just a different generation. Obviously, I feel like the game's changed a little bit. So obviously, you've got a lot of youth players coming up, starting like 16, 17, breaking to the first team. And like I said, the game's changed. And obviously, some players just want to hang the boots or just play it part time. And obviously, because they still love the game, they still want to come down and still play because they love the game and help young players like Luke Miller here as well. So I'm trying to give him a little advice.
Starboy.
Everyone calls it Starboy. But now we've got good players here, Kai as well, and Ty. I still like to think I'm young, but I'm 31, so obviously I still like to give them a little bit of advice.
You've got some very experienced pros in your team. Yeah. How much can you learn from them?
Oh, loads. Some people play like Gary Hoover played in the Champions League. It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, a lot to learn.
Have you asked them for any advice?
Yeah. I've had a chat with Gary about what he used to do pre-match and stuff, little stuff like that. But yeah, a lot to learn.
Just explain what it was like to score that goal against Northampton.
Oh, amazing. Still haven't stopped thinking about it, but yeah, really good.
How have you dealt with all the headlines that have come your way?
I just take it in my stride, not trying to think about it too much. Just focus on the football, like stay on the pitch.
If anyone that hasn't seen you play, what's your style of play?
Try and score goals, attacking, positive play, and keeping the ball. Passing.
One of the Gaffer's latest signings is experienced striker Johnny Edwards.
Johnny, you joined the club about 5 weeks ago.
Yeah, something like that.
What were your first impressions when you stepped into this ground?
Good, man. Like, obviously, I've been in this league for a while. I think Kettering, this is their second season from getting relegated here. So I played it before and being here. It's nice.
What's the environment like in the changing room?
High standard. The lads are great. The staff, obviously, are good as well. The fans. It's a good place to be because everyone's like, it's together. Like, we all know what is required from us, our jobs on the pitch and off the pitch. So it's a good place to be at, man. The
standards are really high, even higher when they bring in 3 former Premier League strikers. What's it like having those boys in the changing room?
No, it's good. They're so humble and of course you would know about their history because of their name and their careers, but they're just normal people. It's great to have them. Obviously their experience and their know-how in games definitely shows when you're playing with them. So yeah, it's good to have them all.
Have you asked them for any advice?
Gary's gave me a few gems here and there, which is good.
What's the gaffer like? He's a right character, isn't he?
Yeah, but he demands high standards. He knows what it takes to get out of this league. Obviously, some of the boys do as well. So the standards are high, but obviously he does credit us when we do well, but he does obviously tell us when we need to step it up, so that's good.
How good is it to walk out in front of 1,800 fans here as well? For a non-league team at Step 3, that's amazing.
It's really good, to be honest. 1,800 fans, like you said, you don't really get that at many places. And if you do, it's a blessing to play in front of. So you hear them when we're doing well, you hear them when we're not doing well. So they're our loyal fans, and it's good to be a part of.
How much does that help you as players on the pitch?
Yeah, massively. You don't get 2,000 in a lot, especially in the league above, in the conference. You'll struggle to get that attendance, and here you've got a good foundation in the fan base here, and it spurs us players on because, like I said, in the season the fans will always get you extra 10%, 10 points as well. So fair play to them.
How your team plays on this pitch will have a big impact on how many fans you get here. There's a great stat that went out on non-league crowds. Yeah. Is that the fans' gate has gone up by 83%, which is the highest in the Southern League.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I think I seen that last night on a Twitter post, like an 83% difference. The fans are great here. I'm hoping for 2,000 here today, and I reckon there will be. They'll bring probably maybe a couple of hundred, but that'll only get better. If they keep winning, that'll only get better, yeah.
Off the pitch, yeah, people coming in the bar, kissing us, hugging us. Yeah, it's mental, yeah. But everyone says, look, there's a real buzz around the whole town. All the bars and pubs they go into, everyone's talking about the football. It's just amazing. So yeah, we're glad that we're doing something right. Yeah.
Football is nothing without the fans, and non-league clubs are nothing without the volunteers.
Malcolm, how long have you been kit man at Kettering Town?
Well, coming up to 13 years.
What's that experience been like?
It's been emotional and it's hard work. It's harder work sometimes than my full-time job. You know, you've always got to think ahead and you've got to know your players and you've got to understand what they want and what the needs are and thinking 2 seconds ahead. Even on match, when the game's going ahead, you've got to think, is that player injured? Does he want water? Does he want fluid? And then knowing what he wants. So it's good.
How concerned were you at the back end of last season when it looked like the club could get relegated?
Disappointed, because for me personally, the effort and hard work that I personally put into here, I mean, you start the day at 8 o'clock in the morning, get home at 8 at night, and I'm up here again tomorrow for 4 or 5 hours washing kit. So when you think, we're going back down from where we come from, no disrespect to the other teams, but you think we've moved on from there. I know our facilities are not first class, but we're getting there. And to go back where we come from, I thought, that's not what I really want.
Can you believe how good the turnaround's been? Sitting top of the table, most goals scored, joint least conceded.
I find it difficult to see where we're going, but knowing Lavs and his motivation, I knew we'd do well. But I think and bear in mind, this is a new group of players as well. And I think we've exceeded what where we thought we'd be. We knew we'd be up the top or thereabouts, but where we're doing at the moment, I think it's exceeded, and it's all down to the owners and the manager and the assistant manager. Great motivation, players are bought into it, happy dressing room, everyone at the club's happy, you can feel the buzz.
Were you a happy kit man when you realised that you've got to learn a brand new squad's names, find all their do's and don'ts, what they like and what they don't like?
Pre-season is a nightmare, because your pre-season game, you get about 30 players coming in, everyone wants stuff, there's kit everywhere, you think, oh my word. Slowly they dwindle away and you form the team, but I still sometimes struggle, thinking, who's left back and the right back? I still struggle sometimes and everything else, but that's because of my age now, I think. What are the players like in the changing room? Do they have any special requests for their kit? Well, there's one player that wants full socks, everyone else has cuts, so you make sure that's happened. We did have a player that always wanted 2 pairs of socks to wear, so you had to think about that. And then it's knowing sizes as well, so thinking like warm-up tops, he wants large XL, and it's like Under Armour. Some players want them, some players don't, and you've got to remember who wants what, and so you've got to think about that all the time. As a fan and a volunteer at the club, what's it like to have 3 former Premier League strikers? To be fair, it's just another player for me. I mean, when I look back, like Matty Stevens, who's now at Wimbledon, that was brilliant because you see him coming up and you see the talent go forward. And obviously like Giovanni Brown as well, I think it's at Notts County. So to see players coming through, going there, is better, I think, for me, than a Premier League player coming here. If it had been like Alan Shearer and his day come here, then that would have been something different. But no, honestly, I think it's good to see the players emerge and go forward than players top coming down. I've got to ask you about this bus that's behind us. The fun bus that wasn't very fun. No, it wasn't. I went on there once and the front door was rattling and opening. It was cold. You could smell fumes. I'm not going on this anymore. And the second game we had, I think, was York City. I'm going up there myself, so I left about 8 o'clock, got up there nice and early before the club opened, set everything out, perfect. And then got reports, the bus has broken down. I thought, good choice, Malc, good choice. How many outings did it get? I think it might have had 2 or 3. I only went on it once, and that was to Chorley, never again. Didn't it come from Liverpool? I think it was Liverpool's director's bus, I think, something like that. I think it was bought on eBay, and you can see why it went on eBay as well. Malcolm, every club has an unsung hero, and I feel like you're Kettering Town. That's great, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. How do you like your team to play on this pitch?
This is hard. As you can see, it's not. This is better than what it was last year. It's not Wembley, is it? But we've got a mixture of players. We can play football and we can build as well. Like, but going to Telford the other night, obviously their pitch was a carpet, and you see the true Kettering team on that sort of pitch, like. So on here it's difficult, but we find a way. And how important is it that you get promoted this season? It wasn't even on the cards. It wasn't in the cards.
Really?
No, it wasn't even on the cards. I'll always say it was from my point of view, but we didn't speak about it. Probably the best we could have done or wished for was the playoffs, in and around the playoffs. But now obviously we're sitting top of the table. There's a long way to go in there.
This club needs to be in the National League North, at least.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's a big reason why I come, because I want to win, I want to challenge. I've never personally won a league in my career. And I know the rest of the boys, the staff, the fans, everyone knows that they want to go up. We are fighting every game to get those 3 points to stay top of the league and win the league, and that will be our aim to do that. So.
And I asked Fabian how he felt about the last-minute winner in the FA Cup. Just talk me through your emotions of that last-minute goal.
You can't write it, can you? Going away to your local derbies, four leagues lower, and you get a result like that. It's what the FA Cup's made of, isn't it? And I've had good times in the FA Cup, and that was probably up there with one of my best years. It was unbelievable, yeah.
The next round is at home for you guys. Would you prefer the away tie? But
No,
it's going to be a massive crowd here.
It's a massive crowd, and that's it. We want the crowd to enjoy it. We want the crowd to, because there was probably 1,000 fans that couldn't go to Northampton. There just wasn't enough allocation. So we want the crowd to come and help us get over the line. It's not just a tie for us. We're trying to get into the third round. We think we can do it. Anyone coming to our home ground, we feel that we can give them a match.
How much are you looking forward to the second round of the FA Cup? Really excited. It'll be a great occasion here as well. Thought we'd have a massive chance, so yeah, buzzing for it.